pump is primed.
You ready, Scott?
I'm ready.
Another sip of our liquor before we begin.
Might as well.
Another holiday season.
That's warm, Scott. Scott can't talk. He's already red-faced.
Oh, it's nice.
What, are you looking to see if it's recording?
No,
you wouldn't be able to tell anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I was testing him.
Little drink, little hit of the vape.
Yep.
Okay, are you ready?
It's been recording.
Okay. Do we need to do music or are we going to write?
I don't know. Are we going to, we want to do the music?
Yeah. Yeah, well,
We can go back to old school.
Well, oh my God, we haven't did this in a long time.
we haven't.
Queued up music after teaser.
Yeah.
So music after teaser.
music at the
that's-
teacher. Okay, do a countdown. Clear your throats. Clear your nose. You're going to pass gas. Do it now. Thank you.
And that was Scott.
See, as an old man, we do the SBDs. It just all of a sudden everyone goes, "What the fuck is that?"
In
like
3,
air.
2, 1.
It's been a long time since we've done this.
I'm not sure I remember what to do. Should I say something funny or witty or...
I don't know. Aren't we supposed to be rolling dice or something?
Nah, I tell you what. Let's just talk like we did in the old days. It's the 2023 holiday episode this week on the Dungeon Masters Dojo.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Dungeon Masters Dojo podcast. This is a show for game masters and players alike. We hope to bring you tips and tricks to elevate your game and develop the art of dungeon mastery. I'm your host, Louis Aponte, and these are your Dungeon Masters, Scott Labby and Bill Robotile. Let's enter the dojo and see what they have in store for us today. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Lou.
Yeah, happy holidays,
Scott?
everybody. It's the holidays.
Yay. With any luck, flying reindeer won't shit on my windshield.
Yeah. Funny you say that. Something defecated on my windshield.
Wasn't me. I was at work. It's not the first time I've been blamed for that. I'm sorry. I got to clarify.
We're all a little rusty because we're not used to any of this anymore.
We've been doing so much actual play.
Yeah, it's weird just having three of us, even though three of us is where it started. But there's 4, right? 4 empty seats.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not used to that.
It's quiet,
abnormally quiet.
abnormally quiet. We have some younger people that play with us, and they're exuberant. There's
There's a lot of good that comes with this.
there's a ton of good that comes from it because
more alcohol.
It's goddamn annoying. Those freaking kids don't know when the hell to shut up.
But that's what tired old men need is a bunch of young people around them.
We
Okay.
can't drink as much.
Sip break. Now that's some holiday spirit.
Yeah. So this is our holiday episode.
Say Christmas for goddamn it
Well,
sake.
it's not everybody, I guess, who listens celebrates Christmas, and that's cool. I don't know any other way to say it other than like holiday episode because I don't know any of the nuances to the other holidays that kind of fall around this time of year.
I'll give you that.
It's slightly different from me, who simply doesn't care about the nuances of. I mean, I follow what I follow, and I like what I like, and everyone else can do the same to their own. But I just don't care.
That's because Scott's the youngest of us.
He is.
So he's trying to be the most wokest.
The most wokest.
He's the touchy feely guy.
Which is concerning. I'm the most touchy-feely out of the three of us. So that
And not in a white van, no windows.
No, not
with puppies
yeah.
and candy kind of way.
No, he has windows.
I have windows, and not like on a list sort of way. But I don't know. So when we say at the end, like Merry Christmas, we mean Merry Christmas, like to everybody, even if you don't really celebrate Christmas. But if you don't,
they still get the day off from work.
Or you get paid time and a half if you are working. But if you don't, let us know on Facebook what holidays you do celebrate and what your version of like Merry Christmas is. Like, what is your like holiday salutation? I'm kind of curious to know.
I'm curious too.
You know,
I don't care.
I'd like to know about Three Kings Day and Hanukkah and all that other stuff. That
Read a book.
Kwanzaa. Did I say it right? Or
No, I think you did.
Kwanzaa.
I don't know. You know,
Not Kwanzaa.
I
Kwanzaa.
now Bill's.
I'm
now
aware.
Now Bill's woke.
No. I am aware. I still don't care, but I'm aware. Yeah, I'm pissing people off. I know. I get it.
And you know what? You know, I don't think we're popular enough to be canceled. I think that's our only saving grace. Or we'd be standing in line with Ricky Gervais after that whole Golden Globe thing he did.
Hey, Ricky, I see you're in line again. Yeah. HR called me down.
So before
I offend more people.
Before Bill gets us canceled globally,
Let's talk about shit.
let's talk about shit.
Well,
Instead
I mean,
of just
we
talking shit,
haven't done this in a while, and a lot of
Yeah.
it's because we've been doing a lot of actual play.
which I'm having a good time doing.
We're having a
Yeah,
blast,
having a good time, too.
I guess our listeners like it too. So go figure.
Yeah, nobody said bad things to us.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'll wait till this episode airs. But
yeah, yep. At the end of December, beginning of January, we'll hear from a few people, I'm sure.
our numbers plummet to 7.
Yeah. 7 old cranky guys like Bill.
So we have actual play. So let's talk about our cast.
Yeah,
Who do we have with us?
There's the 3 of us.
Yeah.
The miserable old men are there. I know, I can hear the applause. It's faint, but I can hear it.
It's a golf clap.
We have some really nice kids who most people aren't really kids, but to us, because we're old enough to be their parents' older brothers, they're kids.
To me, Biden's a kid.
That young whippersnapper, Joe Biden.
Well, why don't we start with the cast of the Jewel first?
Jewel of Mashpur, which is going on now. Our friend Jared,
Yep.
is playing Moulet very well, I might add. And editor Frank, sound effects editor Frank Wieden, is with us playing Ku. And Marcus, who we wanted to introduce you to in an Acorn's Journey, but we're unable to, but you still heard a little bit of him in
Life got in the way of that one.
as it does in the Battle of Birch Grove. So he's Tuco in the Jewel of Mashpur. And then
Rhodey Sin.
Rhodey Sin. Rhodey Sin is Shin Barskelis in the Jewel of Mashpur. And that's going to wrap up around July.
You forgot Ben.
No, I didn't.
I'm thinking of Acorn's Journey. Never mind. My bad.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. So that's going to wrap up around July of 2024, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then our second Eve's Watch story is going to launch, and I don't want to give out too much of it, but we're moving out of Perth and going elsewhere in Hymurin. So we're going to go to the big continent, Kern.
We're globe setters.
Yep, we're bouncing around as sellswords and mercenaries do.
Hell yeah. Follow the coin.
So we have for this new cast, we have a few of the folks you're familiar with, and some brand spanking new people. So
I think we could safely introduce the people and their characters' names.
I think we can. Of course, there's Bill playing Polanyi Lovac. And I keep forgetting his first name because everybody calls him Lovac.
Yeah, Polanyi. Yep.
And Jill played by Lou. And then Chelsea, who I've known for a while, has joined us, and you got to hear a little bit of her in The Hawk this past Halloween. So you could get an idea of how that is going to go and play with her. And she's playing Halfrey, a border woman, shield maiden. Think landlocked Vikings who live in close proximity to the Bayerakians, Jeel's people.
Yep.
So there's an interesting dynamic that develops between Jeel and Halfrey.
Interesting is a good word.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a nice neutral word.
Yeah. And Frank Wieden is back playing Ku. And Ben, who you remember from
An
Acorn's Journey, he played Madry. He's back at the table, and he is playing Kurg, who is a hobgoblin chef. I know, yeah.
There's a little more to it than that, but yeah.
Yeah, he is with us again, so you get some of that positive Ben energy at the table, which is always nice, with his infectious laugh. And then now you've known her for a while.
We've heard her for a while.
We've heard her for a while. Nova has joined us at the table as a player, and you will remember her from being the opening narrator of An Acorn's Journey. And she is also narrating in The Jewel of Mashapur. And you may have caught a glimpse of her character, Ezeziel, in The Jewel of Mashapur at one point in time.
Quick little cameo.
Yes. So she is with us as well.
Mostly doing the narration because she sounds so much better than we do.
Yeah. She does. But she is actually playing this time. She's rolling dice.
Relatively new to tabletop RPG. So, as is Chelsea.
Yes. Chelsea's got a little more experience playing the game. Nova is
a novice.
No stranger to role playing. It was an odd discussion we had when I invited her to join us.
Oh, please, you have to share this.
We were coming back from recording An Acorn's Journey, a DMD story. We did it all week in February, and then we did the same thing with The Jewel of Mashapur, but with COVID and everything kind of like all but disappearing, we came back for the Monday night game to do this new one. So we're on our way back, and Bill's driving, and we're shooting the breeze, and I said to Bill, I think I have someone who'd be perfect for doing like the opening narration. And so I told Bill about Nova, and he's like, okay, cool. I sent her a text kind of out of the blue while we were on our way home.
Our rides back from RetroCon, as we call it, are week long. Him and I bounce a gazillion things off of one another. It is probably the most productive time shy of his shower time.
Yeah, and
which I'm sure you've heard a lot of.
And I am fully clothed on the ride back. I
insist upon it.
Well, it was that state trooper thing that happened a few years back, and
well,
Bill
that was
like,
my
this
fault.
Is the
I had
end
no
of
shirt,
it.
so.
I said, I think I'm going to reach out to her, and he's like, okay, cool. So I sent her a text, and I'm like, hey, Nova, what's up? Just wondering, have you ever done any role playing?
He sends this off and looks over. Hey, I just sent the text. Oh yeah, what'd you send her? And he reads it back to me. I almost rear-ended a semi-truck. Going, dude, do you read that carefully again?
And I did.
And you need to add something to that quickly.
Yeah, so I did.
You read it through, and all of a sudden his eyes got the size of saucer plates. Going, oh crap!
I said like D&D and stuff, and And she said, yes. Or no, she said, no, I've never done any D&D stuff, but I've done a lot of role playing. And then like my face got really hot.
I started laughing uncontrollably.
So that's how we ended up with Nova. When I approached Chelsea, I was very cautious about what I say. So hey, do you something like, you want to play D&D with me? Because really, what woman could resist that, right?
It worked so well in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
But he's 2 for 2 this year.
Yeah, doing pretty good. And then of course Frank's always been with us, and Ben really has too. When we were talking about the and it's Marcus and Rhodey Sin and Jared. It's hard for them to get here on Monday nights because
it is. There's their schedules, work schedules, and
work,
and life commitments and families.
So we're like having these two young girls on the table is great because they bring a female voice, which I think is important.
Well, we've desperately needed for a while.
Yeah, we have. It's like, I mean, our sausage fests are great and everything like that, but we want women's voices to be represented at the table because I think it's important because girls play D&D now and they
definitely play characters differently than we would.
Yeah, and
it's a whole perspective thing, I guess.
And sometimes very much so the same, which is odd.
Yeah.
And then Ben was such a good time to hang out with and play games with that we kind of had to have him back because that laugh that you hear throughout all of Acorn's journey, Ben's laughing in the corner constantly.
It's infectious.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. So it's a good time. So that's what you have to look forward to, have to expect.
Hey, Game Masters.
Are you sick of cliche stories that leave your players falling asleep?
Do you suffer from low engagement at your gaming table?
Do you struggle with creating interesting plots and engaging NPCs?
Do your players laugh at your tiny dice rolls?
Well, we can't help you with that one. But we can help you level up your gaming. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Josh.
We discuss the topics that matter the most when you're being a GM.
Be that better map design, telling gripping mysteries, or just not killing off your players in an adversarial way. I mean, yeah.
Join us at Level Up Your Gaming, a tabletop RPG podcast, every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts.
And that's where we are up to this point.
Right.
Now, what can we expect next?
Oh, lots of stuff. So much stuff. And
well, if you look at the whiteboard over there, that's out to 2028.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yes, we actually have this massive whiteboard in the Lyceum with everything sketched out and the different, episodes that we have up and coming. Which is 2 trilogies up there, plus
some other stuff
and some other stuff as well.
It's so far away, I can't read it.
I can't read it either.
It's like what Kevin Feige does, that roadmap, only not as cool looking.
Well, no. Well, we don't have the same budget.
We have
or any interns, or even family members that pay attention to us.
We have dry, wet erase markers and a borrowed whiteboard kind of budget. That's where we're at.
Borrowed as in we stole it from Lou's work.
And don't tell anybody. Shh.
That's what they get for leaving it in the back dock.
Yeah. I think it was in an office, actually.
It was my office.
Yeah.
Hey, do we need this anymore? No. What should I do with it? I don't care. Lou
showed up after working at home for like 3 years and just walked out with a giant whiteboard, and they haven't seen him since. There's
Until
a
we
lot
need
of stuff.
something else. There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff. We wrapped up recording this second Eve's Watch story.
Yep.
And there's 2 more in the works.
Correct.
And then we We hung out with Jeff Batone from Boldly Go.
That was an amazing time.
That was a really good time.
awesome
Yeah.
Has it? That hasn't aired yet, has it?
No.
No,
Okay.
that was the only time I was ever kind of party leader.
Yeah, it was because we kind of forced it on you.
Well, it was the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got to say, Scott, who's the captain now?
It's something of a space odyssey. So
It was a good time. So that's a one shot, 2-episode one shot. And it's a cool game called Boldly Go. Bill met Jeff at Rising Phoenix Game Con, our buddy Scott Legault's convention. And Jeff graciously agreed to put himself out there and come on the podcast and run a game for the three of us and Frank.
Yep.
And it was a good time.
We had a blast. It was fun.
It was a really good time. So
We got to find a way to do more of that.
well, I already talked to Jeff.
Oh, geez. He
So
makes
there's-
plans upon plans.
Yeah.
Without consulting us first.
We're used to it.
I'm not.
Lou's a control freak. Just let me spread my creative wings, Lou, and let me soar.
I don't want you to fall from that great of a height.
I just fluff the pillow in my rocking chair and ride it out.
So we got that coming up. We've got our 5-year anniversary special coming up. Not this year, but next year.
Next year.
But that's something that requires a lot of plannings and a
It
lot
does.
of people.
It is a monumentous. That's not the word.
Monumental.
Monumental task.
undertaking for a momentous occasion.
There you go.
So there's a lot of stuff where we want to take you on our adventures with us, as long as you'll keep showing up
And
Well-
listening.
and listening.
Well, as long as I got past the introduction of this episode, we should be okay.
We
Lou will edit most of my stuff out.
No, he's not editing anything. He's going to let it all fly.
Our Patreons will love it. Speaking of,
yeah, so
our Patreons are often referred to as executive producers. So let's dabble with that a touch, shall we?
Well, let's talk about our executive producers.
I thought in our last recording, a homage to our executive producers was
A nice touch.
tastefully done,
They showed up,
and they showed up in the actual play.
and we're appropriately badass. So keep your eyes open for Sir
Oh, yeah.
Richard, Sir Michael, Sir Parker, and Sir Michael, son of John.
One of my personal favorites.
Yes,
Mine too.
our executive producers
Well, I like
team.
Richard because he's just a hard-nosed badass, and well, what the fuck.
So if you want to join Richard, Mike Mahaney, Mike Johnson, and Jared Parker on our executive producer team, we'd love to have you.
There's a very good chance that somewheres in the distant future, or not so distant future, that you will find some NPC that has a extreme likeness to your particular name.
Head on over to Patreon.
Head on over to Patreon.
$5, and $5 isn't bad, but $5 goes a long way towards helping us keep the lights on at the Lyceum.
It does with
It's
me because I'm a
expensive.
penny pinching bastard.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's the podcast hosting, the web page hosting,
Mm-hmm.
and everything in between, plus all the equipment.
Yeah.
Domain names. There's security packages that has to go up on top of everything. There's a lot that gets maintained in the background that people aren't aware until they actually start one of these things up and goes, holy crap, look at all the stuff I need.
And honestly, if you listen to any of the editing, you'll notice sound effects and music, and that's beautifully done by Frank, who is a
genius.
godsend. He's very talented.
But all those music and sound effect packages cost money.
Costs money.
Yeah.
And
So,
a lot.
yeah, he hunts deals down. He does a pretty good job, but still,
Yeah.
there's money being spent, and we would really love a little support.
Yeah. And every little bit counts. You can buy us a
A coffee or a sake.
A sake. We like that's still up and running.
Yep.
Buy us a sake. I mean, we've been dry for a while up until today, and
Speak for yourself.
and I miss it.
I make my own
Um,
in the bathtub.
yeah, that's the sort of shit that'll make you go blind.
And a used,
that's why
a
I
used
can't
water
see.
heater.
So buy us. You can always buy us a sake so that we can still see. All of us are wearing glasses.
I don't have glasses.
You should. be
Only
wearing
because you keep
glasses.
forgetting them in the car.
They're on the dashboard of his car.
And then he comes in and complains he doesn't have his glasses.
I gotta leave them where I can find them.
I have 12 pair around the house.
So yeah, he keeps forgetting them where he puts them. That's
I keep forgetting that I get new ones.
so any little bit counts. Show up to Patreon. Become an executive producer, or you could go over to Buy Me a Coffee
There you
and
go.
buy us a sake or
Buy
a
us a
coffee.
Yeah, as long as you buy us something.
Yeah, and leave a comment.
And I think that's what's really important is the comments. This way we know how we are doing, and where our direction should go if that's what the folks want.
And if you're happy
Yeah.
with the direction we're going.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Although our listenership has gone up a bit. So I guess
it
we're doing
has.
something right.
Yeah, I don't know what. It's probably Frank making us sound like we know what we're doing.
Well, that and I'm playing a character that is semi-scripted, so I can't go flying off the cuff sometimes.
I can.
Yeah. Well, I do anyway. It's just mosquito net full of mosquitoes,
Well,
wielding it like a bludgeoning weapon, I guess.
Bill's just playing a younger version of himself. Bill's always been cranky. A little difficult at times, so not a huge. I wouldn't say it's scripted. It's just like it's
This is the character you said I had to make.
it's Bill. It's Bill LARPing, basically. Yeah.
I can't deny that. All right, so
Our actual play,
yeah,
right? What's the vibe we're going for? There's a lot of things to talk about with that, right? When we talked about this, the three of us, we were like, let's, we got that Mercer guy with all his professional people, and I suppose he's all right.
well, I haven't seen a new edition of Critical Role, and Vox Machina, so he's no longer my favorite again.
Yeah, come February, he will be. But he's what do you mean he's your favorite?
I said he's not anymore.
What do you mean anymore? So that means he was.
Briefly,
We're going to talk about this.
until I was done
gonna
my binge.
I've never listened to any of his podcasts at all.
I don't listen to any of those.
I watch Vox Machina, but that's about it.
Mercer's a good DM, but he's a professional.
and we are not.
But we wanted this to sound like a radio drama. We're talking to Frank
the old
about it.
30s, 40s, 50s
Yeah.
radio dramas, and with sound effects and Frank, fortunately for a radio station way back when, was doing Foley effects. So it's definitely not out of his wheelhouse. It's just a
No.
little more technical now.
This kind of came up out of the blue. I think a couple of Februaries ago.
Yeah, a few Februaries ago.
We were as we do. Lou and I overindulged, and Bill was sitting there
Laughing
looking
at us.
unimpressed, shaking his head as he does when Lou and I overindulge because there's a lot of shit talking that happens.
I do
more
it
so.
even before you started indulging, so it's my benchmark.
And we were talking about doing an actual play and stuff like that, and how we wanted it to be a little different than the ones we've heard because we want it to sound like a radio drama. And Frank's like, I used to work in radio, and
Our eyes lit up.
yeah, I was like, fuck you, Frank. Don't toy with my drunken emotions. And he's like, no. I did. I'll edit it. And
Lou's eyes got so big,
And-
I thought he was going to pass out from the blood rush to his eyelids.
And I swear, every moment afterwards, Frank has regretted. And I think he was stone cold sober. But I
No,
think
he wasn't.
Every,
You see the wines he brings? He was not sober.
Compared to the rest of us, I think he may have.
Well,
been.
compared to the rest of us,
He's regretted it every day.
that's one of the fields where I
Since,
am
I'm
a
sure.
professional. So yeah, he comes. Oh, you have no idea how many hours I had to do to add. No, we know. That's why we're letting you do it instead of us.
Me
we
and Frank
love
used
you
to be friends.
we love him for every moment he puts in, but the sympathy level's kind of low.
He'll usually sit down and he'll say, "Fuck you, Scott. I hate you." That's our love language, because he's like, you know how many hours of Shatnering I had to go through? And I don't Shatner.
No, but of course not.
I'm not even going to try.
So that's the vibe we're going for. Lou mentioned this before. You know, for those of you that really know the rules of D&D,
Don't listen to us.
yeah, we heavily house rule things. Like cinema's a big deal to us. And
The
I think-
rule of cool is always on the very top.
right? How
But it's got to
awesome.
make sense still.
It does.
Oh,
it
yeah,
does.
yeah. We're not pulling shit out of our ass.
Yeah.
Well, we
Well,
try, but we don't get away with it.
I think we played by the rules for so long, we are able to walk outside of the rules and know where our boundaries should be still.
Mhm.
So it's not that far of a leap to say somebody's going to do this. Well, just remember we homebrewed a little bit stuff. So we have this freedom to make our story, whether we're playing on for the podcast or for ourselves, to make our story that much better for us.
Well, as an example, early on when we were doing, I don't even remember which one we were doing. We were with Jared, and
that's the
and,
jewel.
And as a paladin, I was going to use 5 points of laying of hands to cure someone's exhaustion. And he says it doesn't say that in the book. Or if I can cure a disease and cure blindness and cure deafness, why can't I cure exhaustion?
Yeah, and it wasn't like it was just one level.
Right. It
but
was one level of exhaustion.
And for us, it makes sense, because Bill's using his divine abilities to do this, and it's not taken away from the game, and it's not breaking the game. I can see if it's going to break the game,
Yeah.
but Bill only
Yeah, I
had,
get it.
I think, 10 points at that time?
At that
maybe?
time, yeah, I was
Yeah,
10 or
it's-
15 at the most.
It elevates the
yeah.
storytelling,
Yeah.
I think. And I think the other thing I want to stress is we started playing, like the first D&D rule set I played was the chainmail rules, and which is pseudo D&D, and then the white box stuff.
Yep.
But the first rule set I owned was the red box back in the day. And we all kind of came up in that, well, the three of us in that era. And you had either a pamphlet or a 60-page rule book. So you had to fill in the gaps if you were running a game. You
There
had to
were a
make-
lot of gaps.
Yeah, there were. The rules were loosey-goosey. It's hard to go from that, even though that was like 40-something years ago,
50.
to even though it was like 50 years ago, to a rule for everything. And if there's no rule in there it doesn't say you could do it, then you just can't. I think
Right.
it takes away from, player agency is a big deal to me, and I think DM agencies equally important, especially if you're really shining the spotlight hard on the player, and they want to do their thing, and their character wants to do something epic.
Give them their cinematographic moment.
Yep.
And if it means you're stepping just a little bit outside the rules, or an interpretation of rules is not necessarily exactly the way it's always been, who cares?
Right.
Give them that moment.
As long as it makes sense.
if it makes sense and it doesn't break the game, like you said, then that's let them
Yeah.
run with it.
And do that in your own games.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes.
Oh, yes. You'll have much more fun, I believe, because it's more satisfying when you see the joy. Oh, I can do this, or this is something new I can do.
Now, it falls to the game master to
Yeah.
reel it in when it gets a little
Yeah.
carried
and
away.
that's
But
when the game master should say, hey, this is a house rule. We're going to keep it this way. We're not expanding on it any further.
Yeah.
We're
Right.
already outside outside of the hard rule. Right? We're now going into the soft area where it's all cinematic.
Yep.
And that's as far as we're going. We're not going to make it unnatural.
Right.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. You know, it's not like, okay, this is a hard, fast rule now. No.
Well, I mean,
No.
if people really think about it, if you look at
we're
the
going to
DMG,
let it fly this time, and we'll see what the next circuit.
the DMG says that, all rules,
Yeah.
they're just guidelines. They're not really hard rules.
Yep.
But I think a lot of people, when they read something, those are their rules, and they don't realize that the DMG says otherwise. It's just like we're doing RetroCon this year. Normally, I'm doing what?
I'm hearing someone's phone go off.
That's mine.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm using was it spell points?
Yeah.
This year it's in the DMG,
Oh,
but a lot
absolutely.
of people just said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, it's in the DMG." So instead
I
of
went
spell
okay because I've used
slots,
spell points before.
yeah, but instead of using spell slots to give more diversity,
Yep.
we're using spell points.
Yeah. And
I liked it. I actually, when you said that, I went, "Ooh, good! I can use that."
Yeah, and it's good to kind of exercise those things and think outside of the rule set.
Well, there's optional rules in the book all over
Yeah.
the place that
Yeah.
most people just go by.
I think if you like in DMG, they start at page 270, go all the way up to almost page 300. There's for spell casting, melee, for everything.
Yep.
There's a little bit of everything to change the game. So I, like Scott said, explore those other things and make some up.
Yeah, whatever works for your group. Once you buy the book, it's no longer property of Wizards of the Coast. It's yours. That's your D&D game.
It's your interpretation of
Yeah.
everything that's there.
So all we ask is I mean, you go ahead and point out all the rules I fuck up. That's fine, because there's a ton of them. But if you're going to do that, I mean, this is a big commitment, because there are a lot of rules that I fuck up because I just don't care.
Well, it's not that I don't think we care. Is that Bill does this and I do it sometimes. We fall back into second
edition a lot.
because we played up until
decades.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fifth
When
edition,
Fifth edition came out.
and
yeah.
it's still a slow transition over.
Yeah, we still our terminology sometimes is old school.
I still say I rolled AC 18, and there is no AC, rolling. It's just I rolled a 18. Did I hit or miss?
Yep. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I do the same thing
Yeah.
on occasion. But
I-
you do it constantly. Yeah.
Yeah, like 5th edition language is our like second language. It's second ed and before is where
Our
we're
primary language.
yeah, that's our proficiency. But sit down and just have a good time and listen and enjoy yourself. Have a cup of coffee or a beer and relax, shut your eyes, sit in the dark, take us along with you on the ride. It's for entertainment purposes. But this is how we play the game before microphones and everything. Where we're just sitting
We're
around.
sharing our experience with you. Our experience has not changed from the way we play it for Mondays for decades and decades. Mondays, there's been a table at my house on Monday since
I had hair.
That was a long time
That
ago.
was a long time ago.
1974 or 5, I started a table. And with the exception of 2 years of COVID, there's been a game at my house every Monday
Yeah.
since then.
Yeah, and it hasn't. I mean, the faces have changed because we've had people come and go.
Except ours.
Except ours, yeah.
I'm just as beautiful now as I was
Yes, you
then.
are, Bill. But
Yes.
this is what brought us together, too.
This
Yeah.
is true.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it. We would have not have known each other except for this. Yeah, if it wasn't for this game.
Right.
And that's the beauty of it. It's not the rules. It's the sitting at a table and
Camaraderie.
yeah, having a good time.
Speaking of camaraderie,
Okay.
we've made a number of friends over the last several years
Quite a few.
of this podcast. And there's friends in the TTRPG community, other podcasts that we've supported and have in turn supported us. We would like to build a community of friends around us and to move along with us. So let's go over a few of our friends.
Yeah,
shall we?
talk about our pals in the TTRPG community, because this is a table's a community, right? We get around the table and we have a good time with our people, and we've met some fantastic individuals. I think we're a better podcast.
I think we are too. And we've met these people through other connections, through that they've reached out to us. We've reached out to them at games, referenced from one podcast to another. Hey, by the way, I'm good friends with so-and-so. Have you listened to the podcast? I know the two of you listen to podcasts on a regular basis. My schedule doesn't allow me to do so, but I'm more the control factor. So you guys will show up and go, gee, I listened to so-and-so. Really? What they're about? Okay, I'll listen to a couple episodes. Or, holy crap, I love these guys, or the voices, or, so I'm more the control than anything else. So I'm not the best to judge, but I know who my friends are.
Yeah. And there's some old friends there, some brand new friends that we've been fortunate to make and who have helped support us, that we've had the opportunity to help kind of like support them in their endeavors. Why don't you go through the list, Bill?
Let's start off. We're just going to rip through the list all the way through, and then we'll kind of go back to it. The Fool's Quest, one of the first people we reached out to. D20 to Curtain, love these guys. Roll Gay Roleplay, funny as hell. Red Dirt D&D.
Get your Western on.
I get your Western
right,
on, man. Bartenders. I haven't listened to them. I want to. I've tried like 3 or 4 times, and no sooner do I cue it up and the wife comes down going, I need a hand with, I think these people are cursed, at least for me. Level Up Your Gaming podcast. We've had a number of
very early on.
Yes.
very early on, and we've had a number of cross back and forth. Roll Britannia, you guys are fantastic. Dungeon Radio Hour, another one that I've been trying to listen to, but again, I am cursed. Geeks Can't, fantastic.
Old friends.
Yeah.
Old
from
friends.
like
And
the
it's
very,
not
very
that they
beginning.
can't. They can.
Jeff Patone from Boldly Go, one of our newest friends, and hopefully as we move forward. And then someone we've supported a lot and has supported us is Scott Legault from Dark Phoenix Events and Rising Phoenix GameCon.
Good convention. Milford, Massachusetts, every April.
So go this year.
We're
going to be there.
We're going to be there, lock, stock, and barrel, all three of us. Finally, Lou. And Brand Uni from Carnivore Games. We've done a number of online events with him, both with us and other venues as well. So we've built up a decent list
Let's
of
not
friends.
forget Jimmy
from the
from the
Splinterverse.
Splinterverse.
Oh, Jimmy, yeah.
One of the... I think he actually does a better job when it comes to D&D books.
Then D&D does.
His books are gorgeous.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And not just with the artwork, but with the way
The content.
it's laid
Oh,
out.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about just...
No, I'm just saying it for the public.
The layout, the explanations. It's like he takes D&D and goes, wow, that's not bad. Let's make it better.
And does.
It's nailed it.
Yeah.
He rolled
nailed
a,
it.
a crit every time.
Yep. So, yeah, thank you, Jimmy, for everything you've done. We have a number of your books, and we do use them.
Yeah.
So, we're always looking for new friends. We're open. We've had people reach out to us. I think the conventions have been relatively fruitful for our group as we've gone to conventions and bumped into new content. I've sat at a number of tables with brand new people who are trying to build their own content, build their own games. I know Scott has done the same thing, and we've given them honest critique.
Yeah.
I sat at the last time I went. Unfortunately, neither of you guys could make it to Rising Phoenix. I still went. And Scott legitimately goes, here's the guy who's trying to build a game. I'm going to put you on his table. I'm like, okay, are you punishing me or what? He's like, no. He could benefit from your insight, and sat me at the tables. I sat at 3 different tables with brand new content creators, and all 3 of them goes, what did you think? Okay, you want me to tell you what you want to hear? You want my honest opinion? And all 3 of them are taking notes avidly. It's like, I never thought about the layout of my character sheet.
It's important.
It's very.
Who thinks
simple,
about?
yeah.
People don't think. No, I think about everything. So I've given my point of view. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. But I like my gentleman sitting here along with me. We've been doing this a long frickin' time, man. We know what works.
Yep.
Yeah.
And every game we go to, every convention we go to, we try to make new friends. So hopefully that list by our 5th anniversary will be just a bit longer.
Yeah. If you can manage to get out to a convention, especially like these, the small ones are the ones I really, really like because you can sit.
They're so personal.
Yeah. You could talk to people. You bump into them.
Yeah.
You know, in the restaurant, you bump into them
2 or 3 times
in the hallway
throughout your stay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great way to go, you know, is these little ones. Like Carnage, I go to just about every year. And
That's where you met Brad, isn't it?
That's where I met Brad and Scott Legault,
Oh, okay.
as
Yep.
a matter of fact. Yeah. And we've been friends with both Brad and Scott for a number of years.
A
now.
number of years,
It was,
yeah.
Going on.
Yeah, it was
going
really
5
early
years.
on, and when we started this whole escapade, that you bumped into 2 of them. He goes, "Hey, I met the 2 coolest guys. We're going to have an interview." Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And we go to Scott's convention every year. Brad does our Halloween special every year. It was just that one time Brad did it, and we're like, oh, we got to have.
Oh
we gotta
yeah,
have Brad
we're
back.
doing this
And-
again.
Yeah, and what a blast! So go to conventions if you can swing it. You know, you get the time off, you can afford it. But I will tell you that I recently bought, as we all did, weekend pass to Rising Phoenix Game Con all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, $55. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
You know, in the grand scheme of convention tickets, right? Because some of them go as high as $75, $80.
But the smaller ones are, like you said, are more personable. You run into the same people. You go a couple of years in a row. They remember you. You remember them. And you see a lot of the players. Excuse me, a lot of the players you remember from tables because they're familiar. It's in their immediate area. This might be the only convention they can make it to.
Yep.
And you sit at a table. I sat at a table with a woman who remembered me from 2 years previous. I sat at a table with you 2 years ago. You did? Which table? Oh, we were playing so-and-so. Oh, yeah. You were playing the investigator. Oh, yeah. So it's nice to make those kind of connections.
Yeah.
With the players, with the vendors. I have a grand time with the vendors. That's how we, Jeff Batone was touting his book. And I sat there and had a nice, lengthy conversation with him. Mostly about you, Scott.
It's one of those genres that
you were.
I was immediately smitten by.
Yes, and I had told him straight out. My buddy on my podcast, he is going to love your material.
And I did.
Is going to love you.
And it was a good time, man.
It was a good time.
Such a good time with Jeff.
Go to your small conventions. Make one or two, even if you can't go the whole weekend. Go for the day. Saturday's the big day.
Yes,
Saturdays are always
Yeah.
the big day. Sundays are good, but they're a little bit shorter. But if you can get that Saturday off, go to a game and enjoy it for the day.
Game your ass off.
Game your ass off and just nerd out.
Yeah, have a good
It's
time. Meet some
phenomenal.
people.
It's not even about nerding out. It's about learning. If you're just getting into D&D, it's about learning that a little bit more about that game.
Yep.
But it's also learning, like me, because I think I'm the most, out of us 3,
Oh, you're the purist.
I'm the purist. So I have a hard time jumping into anything other.
Kicking and screaming every time we jump game systems.
But
my God,
when I
yeah.
do, I'm like, okay, this is not bad. If it's bad, I'll let you know. But so far, it's been good. So go to a convention. Go to Rising Phoenix Game Con if you're in the Massachusetts area.
That's a good vibe there. I mean,
Yeah.
they've really done some good work there. You know, it's really inclusive. It just feels good going there.
There's no gatekeeping,
None.
and none of it at all.
None.
Oh, yeah.
It's diverse. it's
and it's fun as hell. And the entire
Super fun.
the hotel lets them decorate the entire place.
yeah,
Throughout
that's pretty
the
cool.
entire.
Even the restaurant.
Even the restaurant changes the names
menu,
of all the stuff on their menu to match the con.
Didn't
which
we
is
have
cool.
like Griffin wings or
Yeah, we
something?
had Griffin
one
wings
year?
at one point.
Now all the Griffin activists are gonna hate us now. They're gonna be like, "You bastard!"
It was like a
That was-
Beholder burger or
that was the
something
year they
like
had
that.
my drink, though. I was not happy. But she made me that nice dry martini. I was happy.
Oh, jeez. All right, so
So thank you guys for being supportive.
Thank you all for supporting the conventions. Thank you for the list of all our friends for supporting and putting up with our freaking ancient asses. Well, that's mostly me.
And no, we're all pretty fucking old.
I think, like I said, Scott's. We're all over a half a century.
Yeah.
And Scott's the youngest.
I'm the youngest.
Yeah, he's the kid.
I'm the youngest old person. That's quite a title.
I'm running out of fingers to count decades.
They don't have a title for the. Well, actually, I think it's Lich, the oldest old person. Yeah,
My birthday has to be counted on an abacus.
it's like Vecna,
Cool kid in school.
Voldemort, Bill,
Upstart.
Keith Richards.
Oh my God! Don't do that while I'm drinking. Holy shit!
And our listeners, thanks for dealing with us
Yeah.
like every other Tuesday. Again, keep coming back. It's like you're a glutton for punishment, but we do appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. And we hope you gain something from all this.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one little morsel.
A giggle. I'll take that.
Yeah. And if you can't find the time to game, then if you're just listening to come along on our game with us to kind of keep your foot in the RPG door, that's awesome. We're happy we're doing that.
Yeah,
for
you can be the Sturge on the wall for us. Just, kind of. See what I did there?
Yeah, I like
See what
that.
I did there? That was pretty good. Okay, so it is. It's Christmas time. Oh, I'm sorry. Holiday time.
Oh, I was about to do the ending thing.
Oh no,
No, we got
there are gifts to give.
under the tree.
I get gifts? I didn't bring anything.
Yeah, we're
All right, roll the music.
Just freaking selfish bastard.
And you better not re-gift it this year like you did the last one.
I forgot to use his rod of remembrance.
Because Bill had to remind me what we did last year. I was like, what did I? Oh, yeah.
So apparently our Christmas gifts to him have been sitting on the shelf or in the closet for the entire year.
One of our friends got married, and they're like, "Hey, this is a cool gift Lou gave me." I'm like, "I gave that to Lou on Christmas 2 years ago, but it'll make you look muscular if you wear it, right?" Clearly, Lou hasn't been wearing it.
Well, the captain was swarthy.
Yeah. So who wants to go first?
We'll let you go first.
I'd say Lou's not prepared. Let's make him go first.
You sons of bitches. I'll go first. Hold on.
Okay.
I got to dig something out of my backpack.
He pretends he's not prepared. Can never take him at face value. He's always.
Never trust a man with a full head of hair.
Oh my God, they're even wrapped. He has tangible gifts. Mine are digital. I know what these are.
No, you don't.
I don't.
This
I have no idea. They got a little bit of weight to it.
Yeah, they do.
this smells like anthrax.
Okay, give them back. Well,
I'll snort yours if you don't.
I wanted to give something that pretty much, I'm trying to figure out the right way to say it, to show what brought us together. And I figured, what a better way to do this. So I'll let you open them up, then I'll explain why I thought they were a gift for you.
Mine is a box of dust.
Testicles.
That's
Come
because
on,
you need
dude. I
some.
mean-
Oh, Jesus.
This looks ominous.
Well, yours is the DMG because you're always running a DM game, or you're always the game master for us. Bill's is the monster manual because he's always creating monsters for us.
Oh, okay. That's why I was. Yeah, he's a bit of a monster.
Please refer to the previous conversation where I was a lich.
Well, just so people know, these are actually
These are gorgeous.
They're ingots that are from they have the print of the front cover of the DMG or the Monsters
Monster
manual.
manual, yep.
You know, they go in a set. There's a set of 3.
Really? That is actually really cool.
The player's handbook.
Oh, and you have the player's handbook for yourself because he's still trying to learn the game. Oh, there's a back side of it. Okay, so mine says Monsters Manual. It actually showing a beholder on the front. Wicked teeth. That's gorgeous. And even the back cover with all the eyes looking over his shoulder. And a little stand that comes along with it. How about yours there, buddy?
Mine has a relief of Bill in a horned helmet on it.
There is a likeness, isn't there?
It is super cool.
They are real. This is going to look nice in the cabinet behind me.
Supposedly there was only 10,000 made of these.
Only, yeah.
Yeah, so I figured, well,
Yeah, first run.
yeah.
Limited to 9,995 worldwide. Heavily embossed, design individual numbered display stand included. Is there a number out there? I didn't see the number. There is a number. Mine is 5,945. Printed somewheres in the middle. It's on the very top of the back.
5,831.
Hey, his is newer than mine.
It's because he's younger.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll let that slide.
Youngest
But
old person.
I figured, what a better way to show what brought us together.
You know, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very
yeah,
much.
this is. I don't want to cry, but this is.
Well, you are the most touchy-feely of the group of
I
us.
am. This is very nice. Thank you very much. I will cherish this.
This is awesome.
Well, Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Or happy holidays if you're in Scott's camp. All right, your turn, buddy.
All right, I'm going to. First, I'm gonna give Bill his gift, but I want to give
Before
you
I fall asleep?
a
Is that
little
what you're trying to say?
context.
Okay.
Do you remember that time I cleaned the Lyceum stairs with Pledge and you slipped and fell down all 347 of them because you had only socks on your feet? Remember that?
I remember the 179 verbal exclamations
As he was going down.
as I was going
it
down.
was- he was
And at no point did I use the Bill Murray term, my shoe.
but there were a lot of other terms.
Oh, there was stuff that would burn a hag's ears off.
Or that time me and Lou were teaching ourselves karate in the living room and knocked over your favorite lamp and broke the genie bottle and knocked over the cage with the gremlins in them and they all got out. You remember that time?
Vividly.
Yeah.
Vividly.
Or that time I said I made tacos but really got them from the convenience store and everyone had the runs because we're old. Remember?
Okay, almost everything gives me the runs,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
You were pretty upset.
Yeah.
Like all those times, every single one. And you raised your voice. You yelled and grumbled like an angry honey badger. You were pretty upset. So I got this for you. And it's called the curmudgeon cudgel or the curmudgel for short. Right?
What was that again for short?
The curmudgel. Yeah.
I think I'm
you
gonna
see,
like this.
It's about a foot long.
Yep.
You know, so you could carry it with you. Just a round, very simple wooden shaft with a nice smiley face and gold inlay on it. Now, when the owner gets cranky, that's you. The smiley face turns into a frowny face and says,
I don't think we'll ever see a smiley face.
it says somebody needs to turn that frown upside down. So that's how you know it's coming. So there's 4 settings that it runs through. You can't set them yourself. It just it runs through with the intensity of the curmudgeonness. You know, it goes up. So the first one,
I'm gonna burn out high in no time at all.
you're the 4 settings, you got Fred Rogers, Bob Ross, LeVar Burton, and Mo Howard. Okay. So when you really start ramping up in the early stages of cranky, and you know how you accelerate pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you
like a
you just do-
Lamborghini.
just take right off. Mr. Rogers will sing a song and encourage you to put on a sweater or some other comfy clothes, and that'll kind of help you a little bit.
I do like slippers.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Yep. Then
Won't you be my Nazgul?
If that doesn't work, and I don't know how it possibly couldn't, but if that doesn't work, then Bob Ross will talk to you in a soothing voice and say things about happy accidents, like when you fell down the stairs.
Nothing happened about that accident.
If
You left the 14 bottles of lemon pledge at the bottom, and I landed on them.
like bowling pins, and Lou laughed. That was Lou. That was laughing.
That was my happy moment.
That was.
He's screaming, "Pick up the split!"
Now,
I thought he said, "Holy shit, his hip!"
Now, if Bob Ross and Fred Rogers don't do the trick, now LeVar Burton's going to read you a nice story. The man's a national treasure. So it'll just come from the back.
Does it emanate a rainbow as well?
It does. Just like that. And that should do it. But if it doesn't, and we go to like DEFCON 5, if these fail to soothe the curmudgeon, a.k.a. Bill, the cudgel will go into Mo Howard's setting and begin poking you in the eyes and hitting you over the head until you chill out.
Similar to my wife.
Yeah. Do you like it?
No. It just makes me more angry.
Merry Christmas! Keep it with you in your pocket, especially when you're
It's a
around
foot
me.
long.
It's
I have deep pockets. You know how many Werthers I can get into a pocket? I have to have a hand sew these things.
a lot. He gets the bags at Costco, puts the whole thing in his pocket.
It's in one side. I have like those Canadian mints and the other ones. You know, the pink ones? They're always usually in a crystal bowl in your grandmother's.
Yeah, it tastes like Pepto-Bismol almost.
Yeah, just like. Yeah, that's the other pocket.
So Bill loves his gift, Lou, and I know you're gonna like this.
I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to see what Lou gets.
Let's see it.
All right. So I'm gonna set it up for you like I did for Bill, because these are from the heart.
Okay.
And I spent a lot of time shopping. Some Asian man tried to sell me like a little fuzzy thing, told me not to feed it after midnight, put it in water. I'm not falling for that one again, because that was the other time.
I would have
Yeah,
taken that
Bill, I know.
and bred them.
I know.
Never get what I want.
You know how we argue, Lou? Even when I'm right, which is most of the time.
No, we don't.
And well, if I got an item for you, this is going to fix all of that. Imagine a
Earplugs?
world. I guess I could have saved a lot of money if I just did that. Imagine a world where we get along all the time,
It's only imagination.
where I don't lock myself in the bathroom after an argument and you don't have to coax me out while talking to me through a locked door. Sounds pretty good, right? Does sound pretty
Yeah,
good.
it does.
It does. This
Has
is
me
the
worried.
disagreeable. The disagreeable is going to solve all these problems. All right. So you can carry this with you at all times because it's only the size of a baseball. So you can put it in your pocket. Look like
Okay.
you got like a testicle problem. Probably
I can sew in new pockets for you. Trust me, it's easy.
Probably don't want to do that because it's made out of glass. So it's a little glass sphere. But it's very nice. It's very durable too. See all the smoky blue swirls in there? Isn't that?
It looks very
That's
nice.
nice, right?
Very calming.
It's soothing.
Yes.
It might even work with Bill if you hold it up. Before he gets to Mo Howard, right? Whenever it senses the owner being disagreeable, the disagreeable begins to sing in a soft, angelic voice. Isn't that nice? to soothe the disagreeable individual. That would be you, Lou.
I'd never disagree.
And then images of pleasant swirling colors and angelic ghostly beings dancing around will be in there. It's nice. It's really nice. It's like one of those phone apps, but way better.
Okay.
Right?
Shaking it.
If after the angelic beings don't tap on it or shake it.
Probably not. Definitely not. Maybe later.
If after 2 rounds of the singing, the disagreeable individual continues to be disagreeable, the disagreeable changes tactics, right? It's good. This is like a smartphone, only better. It's like a smart ball. The pleasant, angelic singing will transform into Roseanne singing the national anthem while Steve Buscemi dances wearing nothing but a fig leaf. This should terrify the disagreeable individual into agreeability. I know it sounds harsh, but really, this
is harsh.
This will work.
I don't ever think I want to get to that stage.
Yeah.
I don't think you have anything wrong with Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, that's just a DC 13 wisdom save.
I
If
can
you
make that all
choose
day.
not to be soothed. Wisdom DC save at disadvantage, however, for Roseanne and Steve. At disadvantage. Yeah. Do you like it?
I like it. Tink, tink, tink. Thank you very much, Scott.
You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, those are beautiful gifts.
Ooh, let's see what we got here.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be as delightful as what I've seen so far, but I'm going to hand each of you a scroll. And on the scroll, there is a ritualistic spell. I'll read it through as we go through. You can follow along with me. I've given you the scroll to summon Spirit of Wisdom. This magical incantation is commonly used when there is a seemingly easy and mundane task, job, or skill that rapidly becomes problematic, eventually showing that is beyond the abilities of the caster or any other individual in the immediate area. For instance, your portcullis is stuck and no one seems to be able to get it to move, or the trebuchet keeps firing to the right despite the continuous adjustments. Maybe there's a squeak that has developed in your master's plate mail armor, but the source eludes any that seek it out.
I could have used this when I was trying to get these headphones to work.
Yes, you could have. Well, now you have this scroll for just such occasions, and all you have to do is summon the Spirit of Wisdom. So let's get into some particulars, shall we? This is a level 6 spell, but gaming as long as both of you have, this should be easily obtainable. The casting time is 10 minutes because it is a ritualistic spell. The range and or area of effect is 90 feet. The components, verbal, meaning you're actually talking to yourself, building the will to cast the summons. Semantics, the act of using some device or persons to enact the summoning, reaching out for the spirit. And material, the device, object, or machine to be affected by the spell, and some form of refined, imbibable spirits. The duration is 1d4 hours. The school, of course, is conjuration. The attack save, there isn't any. And the damage effect, well, of course, is summoning. So, what happens when you cast this spell? You call forth a being resembling an elderly dwarf, stout. You're turning purple. You call forth a being resembling an elderly dwarf, stout, taciturn, and sporting a scruffy but pronounced beard of white, who seems to be in a bad mood all the time and manifests in an unoccupied space next to you, but the spirit may insist you move to one side for no apparent reason. This... I'm trying to read here. You're uncontrollably laughing. This very corporeal form in gameplay would use the fiendish spirit stat block. I can't even read. The spirit disappears when the task it was summoned for is completed and you have provided it with the required material component. This creature is an ally to you and your components, even when it's berating you for the messed up attempts concerning the reason for its summoning. It takes its turn immediately after the problem is explained, paying no attention to any other individual's initiative. It vaguely pays attention to your verbal commands. In parentheses, no action by you or anyone else is even acknowledged. Armor class is a 12. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I've summoned this dwarf on numerous occasions.
Armor class is 12, plus the defense of any apparatus or workings the spirit has climbed under or into. Hit points are 50, plus 15 points for each adult beverage it is imbibed just before you summoned it. Speed varies depending on how the, air quotes, old magic knee feels that day. Start with a base of 20 and hope for the best. Strength, not bad. Dex varies. Con, surprisingly high. Intelligence, well, it depends on who you ask. Wisdom, 20, duh. And charisma, decent for an old spirit. It has damage resistance to slashing, verbal attacks, and poison. Parentheses, alcoholic beverages. This spirit can be summoned as many times a year, equal to the years you have known of its existence.
Ooh, that's a long time. But I do see one problem with this.
Yes, sir.
The 10 minutes, Scott's going to have a hard time.
Well, I didn't say concentration would not be easy. But so I impart upon you the spell, the summoning of the spirit of wisdom, to handle any problems you have in the foreseeable future.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I need an oil change.
Again?
Maybe some brakes.
We've done that before, too.
I think this is going to call for another drink. With some of the old bastard.
I think the casting time might be shorter than usual.
Oh, shit.
So there, gentlemen, is once again, our magic item exchange for the holidays.
Use it wisely, Scott.
I always do.
Anything under 10 minutes is wise.
He's even been told by his significant other, why don't you just summon the spirit of wisdom?
Genius right there.
I'm going to wear that scroll out.
Yeah, you probably got a few more uses out of that scroll than Lou might. You were using it right along and never knew it.
Yeah. It's the shrine I had in the backyard.
Just stacked up a whole bunch of stuff that predates 1940.
And pour liquor over it.
Pour liquor over it, set it ablaze. Some of the material components were consumed in the casting.
Well, should we get a little bit more spiritual components?
Yeah. If you're going to,
Well, if you're going to talk, I'm going to go get the
We
components.
should just let's wrap it up.
Okay.
I think people are done
listening to
listening
our sorry
to us.
asses.
They're
Alrighty.
like, where's the game?
Oh,
I'm sick of listening to these old farts talk.
I forgot that we were doing a game already.
Yeah.
I thought we were back to this. Although it's going to probably take me 10 minutes just to figure it out, how to use this board again.
Yeah, the settings are a little bit different for when we do this versus when we're doing our actual play.
Yeah, the actual play was a lot easier to set up. Scott was right. I don't say that too often.
I was going to say
that the disagreeable's already working.
Disagreeable's already working. Holy crap. Oh. Well, gentlemen, I personally want to thank each of you for the time that we've put into this, the time we've spent together. It's been a glorious ride that will continue until one of us fall dead. That's probably be Scott, because I'm going to live forever.
Strong possibility.
If only they knew.
They may.
Let's not go there, please.
We'll make loose. We'll cry just a little bit.
Yeah, we don't want that right now.
No.
Bill does. I don't.
I just want the body afterwards.
And that's our 2023 holiday episode. We'll see you next time in the dojo. That's going to conclude this episode. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Please subscribe to the podcast for more great content. If you'd like to hear a particular topic, you can reach us on Facebook at the Dungeon Masters Dojo, or you can drop us an email at thedungeonmastersdojo@gmail.com. Thank you, and have a good day.